Welcome out to It's All Been Done Radio Hour. We have a special episode for you. It's in the vein of Meet the Cast, but instead of talking to one cast member, you're going to hear from lots of cast members. Jerome Wetzel, the creator, asked everybody in the group that was present 3 questions, the same 3 questions, and you'll get to hear all of those answers in just a minute. Before we begin, though, we need to thank Circle 270, who this podcast is a part of. We also want to thank Mad Lab Theater, our wonderful host site. You just missed our Halloween show, but we're back very, very soon on Saturday, November 10th at 5:30 p.m. And then at 10 p.m. we have a second show. And then at 10:30 p.m. we have a second show of classic episodes, some of our earliest stuff. So if you always wondered, what those first episodes were like when they were performed, but, you weren't there at Pack Rat Comics when we were getting our start, come to the free show at 10:30 p.m. at Mad Lab and get the early episodes. It's going to be an hour long and all reruns of that classic IABD content. We also want to thank our parent network, It's All Been Done Presents, which has podcast, network, video series, and more. Our regular video series, Nikki Tells You How to Live Your Life, is currently on hiatus, but there are 2 full seasons that you can watch and learn. Nikki even ended season 2 with a question and answer, and she answered a lot more than 3 questions in that Q&A. Really funny stuff. She should not be telling anybody how to live their life, and yet she's telling us all how to live our lives. So go check out Nikki and all of our programming at IABDpresents.com. You can follow us on social media at IABD Presents so that you don't miss a thing. You can also follow It's All Been Done Radio Hour on Facebook if you like that page. Now enjoy It's All Been Done Radio Hour. What is your favorite Radio Hour episode thus far?
So, there's a bunch, of course, that I really love, but I think one of my favorites, not only did I think that it worked out really well, but it was one of my favorites to perform, was the RPG episode that Nick wrote when the Universe Journey folks were playing the game and the other sketches were their characters. So I got to play Captain Kake, who played the top-notch Tangler. So that was tons of fun. Not only was I was so on that night, and I just had so much fun, and the crowd was laughing, and that was one of my favorite performances. It was hilarious.
This is Samantha Stark, by the way.
Hi, this is Samantha Stark.
What's one character you'd like to see come back who's not a series regular that's still appearing? So if it's a series regular that doesn't appear anymore, that's fair game. But somebody that's not regularly appearing.
I want Clint to come back. Again, that's the one I play. So if we go with one that I play, I want Clint to come back. For other characters,
that was Universe Journey episode, 3 or 4
2 or 3? It was really early Universe Journey.
Yeah.
But I loved Clint, and people still say
Remind people the Clint voice.
Clint, my name is Clint. And he was like a little kid alien who was trying to be big bad, and then when Captain Kake stood up to him, he got all sad and was like, Mommy! So, super cute. Other characters, Wholesome Honey, I can't wait to see come back. I'm so excited for Wholesome Honey to come back. She's a top-notch Tangler bad guy, but she thinks she's the good guy, and that the top-notch Tangler is, she doesn't stand up for what a woman should be doing, and she, so the Wholesome Honey is great, and Wendy plays her wonderfully.
What is your favorite podcast, and why do you dig it so much?
So I have a couple of favorite podcasts in different genres.
I asked for one.
So if I'm just going with one,
I'm just kidding. You can give me a couple.
So one of my favorites is one that you, Jimmy Jerome, actually introduced me to, which was 36 Questions, which is the musical audio drama podcast. It was so good, so well done. The music was great. It's only 3 episodes, 3 acts, and I was like crying near the end. It was so great. One brand new podcast that I've been listening to, and I can't wait for the next episode, is called Behind the Bastards, and it's a historical look at all the worst people in history and some not so well-known facts about them. It's really interesting, and I really like that one.
They haven't had anybody from our show in it yet, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Soon, probably. We're pretty terrible. We're all individually serial killers and thieves. And the other one that I really, really like is by the group Wondery, which is called Launch. And I think I told you about that one, but Launch is about a guy he's a screenwriter. He adapts books into screenplays. He decided to write his own mid-grade novel, and it was his journey through writing, publishing, and getting it out there. And it was really fun to listen to.
Cool, thank you.
Yep.
So this is Katie Boysenall. Katie, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
My favorite episode so far was the Alexander Hamilton episode with Packer and Ratcliffe. Just because I thought it was cool that we had music, and I thought it was really well done, and it was just really like in tune with doing something that's already been done.
What is your favorite character that's not currently occurring regularly that you'd like to see come back?
Frank the waiter. I love Frank the waiter. I mean, I know he sort of comes back, but I don't know.
He hasn't come back since he tried to blow them up.
Yeah, and it's been a while, so we're kind of sleeping on Frank the waiter right now.
And what is your favorite podcast?
Actually, it is Radio Hour.
Here's your $20.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. No, but it's the first. It really got me into podcasts in general. I hadn't really listened to anything, so this really piqued my interest in it. So I have to give props where it's due.
Oh, awesome! Well, thank you very much. Nathan, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
My favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour, I think it was the first episode that Porn Stars was on back when we were at Pack Rat Comics. It was I almost peed my pants laughing so much. And what stinks is that we had to re-record it and it lost its vigor. But that was my favorite one. Absolutely hysterical.
What character would you like to see return to the podcast that does not currently regularly appear?
Rotgut. That guy was awesome.
Oh yeah, that hasn't been released on the podcast yet, but you'll hear it coming up in a Daniel Kravitz episode as a monster.
Oh my gosh, completely worth listening to for him alone. I'm the star of it, and I'm not even worthy. It was so awesome.
That was Tommy Graviak was the guest star that played him.
He was great.
Oh, he was fantastic.
He was fantastic.
And lastly, what is your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast would have to be a tie between It's All Been Done Radio Hour and The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky.
You got some brown on your nose right now.
I don't listen to podcasts.
So you're just going to name the two that you're in?
I might as well name two that I'm in.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nathan.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ryan Yowie, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
I would have to say a Daniel Kravitz season 1 finale. There was tons of fighting, invisible force fields that sometimes you just have to keep hacking at, and then you still get knocked out.
And Daniel saved your life.
Yes, I guess.
Right, I did.
What character does not regularly appear now that you'd like to see return?
Janice.
Of course, Janice Jameson. And why Janice?
Why
what about
Janice? She's just so much fun, not just to be, but also I feel like a lot of people expect things out of her, and then all of a sudden she does something completely different. And hopefully next time she returns, she'll do something else completely different.
I think that's fair to say. And what is your favorite podcast?
So I'd say it's torn between IABD as well as...
IABD sucks. Why would you name them?
Ooh, ouch. Also, I do like Barbell Shrugged as well for those gym goers.
What's Barbell Shrugged?
It is a fitness and wellness and BS type podcast. A bunch of smart yet bros talking about fitness.
Cool. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Wendy Parks, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
Hi, my favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour has to be the musical Hamilton.
Alexander?
Packer
and Ratcliffe?
Absolutely.
Why? What about
Hands down. The music was phenomenal, and I really enjoyed singing the songs and listening to all of the music.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
What character not currently regularly appearing would you like to see return?
I would like to see Fizzy Bibbit
Fizzy Bibbit's dead.
return, come back from the grave. I really enjoyed Fizzy Bibbit, and the Wholesome Honey needs to come back.
You're the second one to say the Wholesome Honey. What is your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast of all time it just has to be Radio Hour.
Suck up. Why Radio Hour?
Because I'm in it. And
Wendy's also the most modest person in the cast.
and a lot of my really good friends are in it, and we work really hard to be awesome. So
That's a good answer. Thank you very much.
You're
Wendy.
very welcome.
Okay, Nick, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
I think what we're doing, the two-part with...
Two-part universe journey that's
yes, it's
not
coming
out
up.
yet?
If you
June
come,
and July.
Yes, if you come to the show, I don't want to say anything, but if you come to it, it's phenomenal, it's fantastic, it's amazing. And I really enjoyed that. Actually, I would say that's my favorite segment episode. And then
Awesome.
outside of that,
That'll be on the podcast feed in about 9 or 10 months, or you can donate at patreon.com/IABD. Let's do it now.
That's right. Daniel Kravitz, I love the Abby episode, is really fun.
Abby Reynolds chosen one?
That's right.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. And then Top Notch Tangler, they're all, they're certain.
We have to pick one from every segment.
I know,
that's
but that's the thing, I remember the segments better than I do like a full show, so sorry.
That's okay. What character would you like to see return?
The Gaul is that the name of the character? The Gaul? No, the raspy.
Oh, the Paul.
The Paul. The Gaul. The Gaul of the Paul.
The Gaul.
No.
Is the Gaul the Paul's cousin?
Sure. It's also Nick doesn't know all the characters' names because they all blur together. I was close.
Yeah.
No, I like him a lot, and then also I'm biased. I love Z.
Yes, Z's a great character.
Z's great
because you were instrumental in creating that character.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a fun character. A lot of possibilities there, and I'm interested to see, especially as things gear up with Universe Journey, how that could still play into things.
It'll still play.
Oh, I know, but I'm excited to see how it will go in there. That's what I'm saying. And outside of that, I mean, again, that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
That's good. What is your favorite podcast?
I go through a lot. Like the one I'm listening to a lot right now is Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard. Mm-hmm. It's like a 2.5, 3 hour conversation with just anybody, and usually it's his celebrity friends, but they really are fascinating. And then at the end of the episode, they do like here's everything that the Armchair Expert said wrong, because that's the joke.
Yeah.
And Dax will admit, no, I didn't say that. We recorded you. You did say it's really good. And then I do love Chris Hardwick a lot. I do
The Nerdist, which is now
ID 10T.
Idiot.
Yes, when lead speak. And of course, it's all been on radio. Jerk. I know, I do.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Chris, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
My favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour is probably the 2-part March to War Universe Journey episode. I think it was written very well written. It had a great
6-part?
ending. The 6-part. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
That was it was written very well. It had continuous stories that made you want to come back to find out what was going to happen next.
Awesome.
So that was one of my favorites.
What character that doesn't regularly appear now would you like to see return?
Cowboy Joe.
Yeah.
Cowboy Joe was very good in coming up with the craziest All Been Done Radio Hour products, and the way he talked about them. And I just enjoyed his character, but I also enjoyed the way he got killed, that he got electrocuted. I just love that. He had the greatest voice when he did that, so I really enjoyed Cowboy Joe.
What's your favorite podcast?
I really don't have too many podcasts that I listen to. I'm kind of like a boring guy in real life, so I might listen to something like a Life magazine show from NPR or maybe CNN, just something current eventish. So that is probably, it's not really entertaining. It's more information that you get that you wouldn't normally hear.
Like the podcast version of talk radio?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, I love anything that, and I don't like mainstream talk show hosts. I'd rather have smaller ones with different opinions that kind of open up your eyes to different views and just, issues that people should be aware of.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, all right.
Brandon Talty, what's your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
So it's actually kind of a tie. I would have to say that my first and foremost is the one where it was the episode where we had the Rube Goldberg.
The Top Notch Tangler.
Yeah, the Top
Where
Notch.
we introduced Cam.
Yep. I think I love that one just purely based on the number of sound effects and how proud I was of that.
Still one of your most impressive sound feats.
Thank you. And then I would have to say that probably my favorite episode though was, no, I'm gonna leave it at that one.
Okay.
Because now I'm trying to no, because I really liked that episode with Shane. No, I really liked that episode with Dallas. No, I really liked that episode with Rocket. No, I really liked that. No. So okay, no, my favorite episode is mine.
What's your favorite podcast?
My favorite podcast right now is Welcome to the Magic Tavern. It's by far, I listen to a lot of different podcasts, a lot of different, everything from political podcasts to Total Money Makeover podcasts to It's All Been Done Radio Hour, which is definitely my top three. Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't.
Other than Thrilling Adventure Hour, which doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Except in glorious reruns.
That one I still have never heard.
That one's amazing.
Yeah, I would have to say that at least the podcast, thinking of what is a similar podcast to us, what is my favorite podcast, it would be Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Nice.
Yeah.
What character do you want to see return?
I would have to say that one that I've loved the best, I'm not gonna lie, man, I gotta say it, I loved Rot Gut.
Sure.
I loved Rot Gut.
You're not the first answer for that one either.
Yeah, I think I heard Nathan talk about it.
No, it's a great Tommy Grabiak.
He did great.
Oh, he was.
He did, like, every time was good.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Okay. Thank you, Brandon. Shane Stefanchik, what's your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
I think it was the one-off where we were at the podcast festival, the Christmas episode with the Grinchmeister.
Oh, the podcast meetup.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was probably one of my favorite episodes. It was a lot of fun.
What character that doesn't now regularly appear would you like to see return?
Well, of course I'm going to say Larry, but characters that aren't me, I would say Harry Dirt.
Ah.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Harry Dirt again.
I hope so.
And what's your favorite podcast?
Outside of It's All Been Done, obviously.
Sure.
Probably Welcome to the Magic Tavern, or Tales from the Magic Tavern.
You're the second one to say that.
Yeah.
Good podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Shane.
Yeah.
Okay, Marianne, who has guested a few times and has been seeing the show since the beginning, Marianne D. Jackson, wife of our troupe member, Keith Jackson. What is your favorite It's All Been Done Radio Hour episode?
My absolute favorite one is Comic Book Day Year 1, where Daniel Kravitz...
Abby Reynolds chosen one.
Abby Reynolds chosen one.
You're not the first one to give that answer.
That's such a good one.
It is.
And Wendy just knocked it out of the park. It was so good.
Especially singing that theme song a cappella.
I know, it was so good. It gave me goosebumps. As soon as I said it, I looked at, I forget who was next to me. I was like, that is amazing. That was the best I've ever heard it.
What is a character that's not regularly appearing now you'd like to see return?
Marlene and Houston.
Yes, Ghost Buddies.
Ghost Buddies.
Absolutely. And third, what's your favorite podcast?
My favorite.
Besides Marianne's Macabre Movie Review. Or Marianne's Macabre Review on the It's All Been Done Presents Network.
I like that one a lot. I'm pretty partial to that one myself.
Well, I figured we had to throw the plug in if we got you on here.
I like, what is it called? And That's Why We Drink.
Ah, what's that one about?
That one is Paranormal True Crime Podcast.
Nice.
And it's Team Milkshake versus Team Wine. And so one of them drinks and the other one doesn't, so she drinks milkshakes. And I'm like, I'm Team Milkshake all the way. So
nice. Thank you very much. Amanda Iman, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
I think my favorite is when there was the full-on battle between Regina and Daniel. I almost said
the end of season 1?
Yeah,
that was Yoey's favorite
1.
episode as well.
I really like that episode. Like, listening back to it too, I really like that.
Awesome. What's one character that doesn't regularly appear now you'd like to see return?
Marlene.
If Marianne hadn't told you to say Marlene, do you have another answer?
I think I would have been real blank.
I mean, Marlene and Houston were fun.
Gus the dog.
Gus the dog. Addie was so good at Gus the dog.
Yes.
What is your favorite podcast besides Amanda's Picture Show Go-Go?
Yes.
Obviously.
Well, I'll give 2. My favorite mainstream podcast is ID10T, formerly
Idiot?
The Nerdist.
Yes.
I would say my favorite, independent podcast is The Cutaways, which is a Lady Pod Squad podcast, and they are covering all of rom-coms from the beginning when it started in the 19-teens all the way to today in chronological order.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of rom-coms.
And they're not, super into rom-coms, so they're looking at it critically. It's really interesting.
Very cool. Thank you, Amanda. Virgil von Hartzell, what's your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
Oh, I'm going to have to say this last Christmas episode.
The Daniel Kravitz chosen one?
Yes, the musical.
Nice. I don't know if that'll be out before this or not, but if it is, listen to it. If it's not, it'll be out real soon. What is one character that you would like to see return to Radio Hour?
I would love to see Janice come back.
Janice Jameson?
Yes.
You're not the first one to say that today.
She is so hilarious.
Yeah. What is your favorite podcast?
It's All Been Done Radio Hour. It's an easy one. I didn't even have to think about that
Suck
one.
up. No, what else besides Radio Hour?
I do like the Squatch Hunters.
Squatch Smashers?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I've listened to a couple.
It's All Been Done
Yep.
Presents Network.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks, Virgil.
Yep.
Keith Jackson, what's your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
I'm going to go with the Top Notch Chandler episode where the Paul and Hella Zanny first.
That episode is called Hella Zanny and the Paul.
That makes sense.
Why is that your favorite?
I just really thought the characters were very funny. And well, the bit with the like the flashbacks with phone conversations and so forth. I thought those were really
the
fun.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
pointless flashbacks.
Yes.
Okay. What character would you like to see return to Radio Hour?
I might pick Zanny, but for right now, that's all I can think of. I mean, I know there's going to be something else that's going to come back.
What's your favorite podcast?
I guess I can't pick Marianne's Macabre Movie Review, can I?
Sure.
I will do that then.
Your wife's podcast.
Yes.
Nice.
That was Marianne's Macabre Movie Review.
Actually, by the time this comes out, I think it's going to just be Marianne's Macabre Review.
Ah, nice.
Because she's dropping movie from the title.
Yep.
But yes, your wife's podcast counts.
Okay.
Joe Morales, what's your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
Oh, see, there's a lot. I would have to say anything that involved any of the Christmas episodes is from any of the shows, just because I'm a sucker for Christmas stuff. But then there's another one, but it hasn't aired yet, that we just did for Top Notch Tangler.
Oh, yes.
So I think you know which one it is, but I can't say anything.
There's a really good Carson episode coming up. That's all we'll say.
That was about it.
Any particular Christmas one stand out to you?
I kind of liked, it was honestly the Top Notch Tangler one, because it actually kind do go back, and I like origin
this
stories
past
too.
year? Or no, the year before?
The year before, the origin story,
where we saw her get her powers.
Yeah.
Okay. What one character would you like to see return?
Janice Jameson?
You're like the third person that said.
Am I?
Jameson.
Sweet. Okay.
And she's
So
coming
we're on
back
the same
soon,
page.
so we're
hey,
out.
that is good. Yeah. Janice Jameson.
What is your favorite podcast?
So I need to listen to more podcasts as well. Time Suck.
What's
I
Time
think
Suck?
that has Dan Cummins in it. He's a comedian, and it's just a bunch of random topics. They've talked about the JFK assassination before, the Mandela effect, which is always very interesting, and he kind of just makes random jokes throughout too. So
nice.
I don't know. I haven't listened to too many of them, but that's really like the only one I could think of at the moment.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's All Been Done Radio Hour, number 146. We're considering this Meet the Cast, number 24, called 3 Questions, in which Jerome Wetzel, myself, the creator of It's All Been Done Radio Hour, asks 3 questions to all of our various cast members, and Marianne Jackson also answered the questions. Any cast members that were present at the show where we recorded this. I want to be clear about that because there were a few cast members that weren't around when we answered these questions. They were also recorded much more recently than the podcast episode, so you might get some hints of what to come. Please check out our website, it's allbeendoneradiohour.com. Big thank you to Chris Allen for editing this all together, which I'm sure was not an easy task. Have a great week. What character that doesn't regularly appear now would you like to see return to It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
I'm gonna come back to that one because that one's. I'm gonna need a second for that one.
Okay.
I still haven't.
And Daniel saved your life.
Yes, I guess.
Right, I did.
Not your turn, Nathan.
You talked during mine.
Okay, Nick, what is your favorite episode of It's All Been Done Radio Hour?
Well, Jerome, any episode that Chris is in. I'm not saying that
every single episode.
Yeah, I'm not saying because Chris is right behind me.
It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?